Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. We're so grateful that you're all here. I'm Melissa Scudder, and I am the chairperson of the Ashland Food Co-op Gives Committee. And the Ashland Food Co-op Gives Committee is the philanthropic arm of the co-op. We've been around for a few years now, and the two arms that we are well, I'll just read this. At the Ashland Food Co-op, nothing means more to us than contributing to the health and strength of our community. To build upon our mission, we have developed two funding programs to support the change or the good work that is happening in our community. And one is the Change for Good program that is the Roundup program at the registers. And then there's this one that you're at the webinar for, which is our Community Grants program. And the Community Grants program it's our summer program. So I'll go over this in a second, but the application went live on the 10th of July and it'll be open until the 15th of August at 9 p.m. Each year, the Ashland Food Co-op's Board of Directors sets aside a small percentage of sales from the previous year to fund the Community Grants program. And these funds support local projects that align with our vision of enhancing health, enriching the community, while promoting our mission to provide education about food, nutrition, and health. And in 2022, we proudly donated over $25,000 to 17 area nonprofit organizations, all doing really excellent work in our community. And these are the people that were funded and small projects that they had going on.
Rotary.
So,
no.
And at the end of the grant cycle, one of the things that we were doing until the last 2 years was to have an award ceremony. And this year we're going to start that up again. And so the award ceremony is a really nice opportunity. We're going to do something new this year, which is to bring in both grant recipients as well as the Change for Good recipients. And it's an excellent time for us to get to know all of you, and then also for all of you to get to know each other. Because the more networking that we have with people doing good work in the community, the stronger our community is. So here are our categories. This is the nonprofit organizations that are applying are encouraged to request program funding in one of our 3 grant categories. One is food and/or supportive services for people in need. One is environmental stewardship, education, and sustainability. Educational programs focused on food, nutrition, and health. And then there's actually 4, which is education on the environmental sustainability. Your application must designate one category that your project will address with a community grant request. And there's a little box on the application that'll ask which category you feel you're falling into for this particular project. If you're unclear of how your project is aligning with any of these categories, just feel free to give us an email or a shout out. I'll give you a number for Callie, who's our contact person at the co-op and invaluable for information. So she will be the one to see your email, and she will also be the one to answer any calls.
Callie, you said Callie?
Callie, yeah, Kali. So the application review, the basics are important to getting started. So we're going to need, obviously, the name of your organization, and whether you're a 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofit organization, or whether you have an umbrella company or a fiscal sponsor to work with you as your representative as a nonprofit. We need to have your IRS employer identification number, or your EIN. And then we'd like to have your Ashland Food Co-op owner number, your sponsor's owner number. Please provide the owner number and name of a member of your board, your staff, or a key donor. It's important that there's a contact person available to answer questions regarding the grant application and awarding of grant funds. So we need the name, the phone, and the email of that contact person, your organization's address, phone number, and email, and then your organization's website. And then we'd like to know if you've received a previous grant from the food co-op and list all years and grant amounts received. So we'd also like to have the history, the mission, and the background of your organization. If you're a newer organization, please don't worry about it. It's okay. We just want to know about you is really all this is about. And then we'd like to know about your project and its main purpose. Who and how many people will benefit from your project? What's the geographic location of the project you're seeking a grant for? And are there any collaborative partners for this project? In other words, if it's like a construction project or if it's a healthcare project, who are you working in conjunction with? Is there a lumber company, a lumber yard that's working with you to help build, or a carpenter, that kind of thing? Just so to make that a little clearer. What is your project strategy, your sequence of activities, and your timeline? And I guess this is the time when I decide that I should have turned off my phone before this webinar. Always turn off your phone before you start the review process. In what way does equity, diversity, and inclusion play a part in your project? What's your total organizational budget and project budget? Briefly itemize the expenses of the project and list the expenses that an AFC community grant would cover. And then do you have any other secured or pending funding for this project? Or in other words, are we the only ones that are on board to help? And then our timeline, as I was talking about before, July 10th is when our application went live. It'll be live until 9:00 p.m. on the 15th of August. And then on the 6th of September, we will announce the recipients. And on the 28th, we're going to have the award ceremony.
Ashland Hills Hotel. No, Ashland Springs Hotel.
That's it. Yeah. And this year it's going to be at the Ashland Springs Hotel, just so we know. So here are some commonly asked questions. Can I apply if we received a community grant last year? And the answer is yes, you can. If I was a good partner last year, can I apply? And the answer is no, you can't. You have to wait a year. And I can clarify that for anybody if they would like a little bit more information. How do I apply if I don't have access to the web forms? I'm going to give you Callie Crown's number right now, and her number is 541-552-5485. Okay, and then can we apply if we are not a 501c3? Yes, you can, as long as you have a fiscal sponsorship. And what is the typical amount awarded for a community grant? The most that a community grant can be is $2,000, but we've given grants out for $250 before. So just what the need is, it's good to go. It's good to ask for. And then when and how will the funds be dispersed? We would very much like to say that we would have checks available to give to recipients on the 28th of September, but I can't guarantee that. It could be as long as, I think, 4 to 6 weeks, but hopefully that won't be the case. Oh, and then it's given through check. And if they're not dispersed by the time of the the gala, we're calling it. If they're not ready, we can ask you if you would like us to deliver it to you in person, which we love to do as a committee. We like to see what you're doing. Or else you can ask for a check and we'll just get it in the mail to you. But that's up to you. So here is one of the projects that we funded last year. It's the Cave Junction Farmers Market, the Cultivate Kids program. In 2022, we established a raised garden bed and a stone spiral labyrinth that the kids planted and cared for throughout the season. These guys did. Other memorable projects included a honeybee demonstration by local youth beekeepers, a plum tree giveaway for kids to take home and plant, a farm animal petting zoo, a forest mound watershed activities, and more. The year ended with our annual Upcycle Art Contest and Trash Fashion Show, which to our great delight had many youth participants. And then these guys, they continued to apply for the Change for Good program this year and were nominated by owners. So they're actually going to get further funding through the CFG program. So before I stop talking, I just want to give you a little bit more information about our process, which is that we are a committee held together by myself. I'm a board member. So we have 3 board members or 2 board members and the board secretary on board. Casey Garcia, who is a front-end manager, and then we have 2 community members, Callie, who's in our marketing department, and Betsy DeGrasse, who is also she's in the financial, in AP. And I think I've got everybody. So we're a diverse little group of people. We have a weighted rubric that we use. So once all of the applications are cultivated, I've already got everybody broken into groups, and those groups will divide the applications and go through them, look at them. Everybody's going to fill out their rubric, and then we come back together and everybody kind of goes over their feelings about how it was weighted. And that's kind of the process. And then we just, and then we step back and look at where the numbers are, and that's who gets the grants. So we try to keep it as fair and across the board, like equal in every way that we know how. So that's that. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer?
Stop presenting.
Does everybody understand when? Oh, sorry, Katie.
I know you mentioned that there's a wait period if you were awarded a Change for Good grant to apply for this. Is there a wait period if you were awarded a community grant to then apply for the Change for Good program?
No.
Okay.
No, you just need to, just wait for the application to go live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you let me know when that typically happens?
Usually in February.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. I was wondering if I could just go around, and I'm so happy to see so many people participating in the webinar. And I was wondering if we could just have everybody introduce themselves really quickly and tell us just a little bit about your organization. I'm going to start with the online people. If you feel uncomfortable doing that, please say I'm going to pass. But then I also have some people in the room. So Katie, since you asked the first question, can I hear about you and your organization?
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of filling in for our development director who's out of town on a family vacation, but I work for Firebrand Resiliency Collective. We started after the Alameda fires and are dedicated to finding long-term resilient solutions for recovery and preparedness in our valley.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Carol? Oh, hold on. You're still muted. Zoom always gets me.
Okay.
Go.
Carol,
Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm from Phoenix Counseling Center. I'm a board member there. We specialize in counseling services for those in recovery from drug and alcohol addictions, mental health issues, and most recently gambling issues as well. We've been around for close to 20 years, but we're small and say that we are in a home-like setting. You don't see the long hallways and lots of telephone calls over PA systems. It's very home-like, and it appeals to, in particular, those with mental illness who would have difficulty in visual counseling centers.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then, oh, good. And thank you, Carol. Thank you for being here. If anybody wants to know about the Firebrand Resiliency, just to step it back a little bit, the website address is posted in the chat too. So if anybody else wants to put their website in the chat, please do. Jasmine?
Oh, sorry, I'm on. So my name is Jasmine Bretman, and I work at UNETE. We're a Center for Farm Worker Advocacy here in Medford. We have a bunch of different programs. We offer classes in office and online. We have the Access Food Pantry that comes into our office. We have our own pantry. We have, oh my goodness, I'm put on the spot here. Goodness, I can't.
It's okay. That's good. That's perfect. Thank you.
We have a lot of programs that help immigrants and things like that. We have, oh my goodness, why can't I think? I'm sorry.
Yes, because you got put on the spot, but thank you very, very much. I'm glad you're here. Thanks. Rebecca?
Hi, I am the director of the community preschool at SOU as well as adjunct faculty under the early childhood umbrella. I've been working at the preschool now for 3 years, having left another program that I founded over 20 years ago because I love the work. The preschool's been trying to put in a garden area on the playground for several years, and think old rebar and chicken wire, which doesn't work. We have the help now from the Environment and Sustainability Department and others that are going to help us with some of the product and some of the work, as well as a timed water system, and deer resistant fencing is on the list. We love them, but we just don't want them eating the stuff. So who this will benefit is not just the preschoolers, but also the preschool families. And of course, this will be generational, as well as the practicum students and capstone students and others that are involved with the environmental and sustainability projects in the university. So it's a co-collaboration. And some of these departments, like the farm, has promised us some dirt and other things if we can get this thing going. But there's still some needs that only money are going to take care of. And so we will be presenting a grant for that purpose.
That's wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Rebecca.
Sure.
And Steve?
Hi, everyone. I'm Steve Sosby. I'm the executive director at the Siskiyou Field Institute. Sorry for the unusual placement here. My babysitter has gone home for the day a little early, and I've got a 10-month-old crawling around here, ready to go to bed here as soon as we hop the call. But he can't see me, or he can't see the phone if I put it this way. Siskiyou Field Institute, for those of you who don't know, we're an 840-acre wilderness preserve and nature education center in Selma, Oregon, and we offer adult natural history field courses around Southern Oregon and Northern California, and we run an outdoor school and have a big conservation easement where we're restoring the property but from an old historic cattle ranch. And so we also are trying to add in some garden education programming for our outdoor school. So before we get into a larger meltdown mode, I am going to take my leave. But
Thank you so much. And thanks for bringing your buddy with you.
No problem.
It's great.
Okay.
Ellie.
Hi, that's a tough act to follow. My name's Ellie Holte. I work with the local innovation lab at SOU, and that's an internship program where we place students in impactful projects throughout the community while giving them leadership skills, tools in the background. So I was just curious about what the co-op had to offer and if that might be applicable to any student projects. I don't think that we'll be ready in time this year, but I'm really grateful to hear about what you're doing. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah, and feel free to reach out to us anytime. We're happy to answer any questions and collaborate with you in any way we know how.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Ellie. And then Adam.
My name's Adam Holtai, and I have a company called Road Produce, and we have a division called Community Compost, and we pick up food scraps residentially once a week and also commercially, and then we donate the scraps to local farms. So we divert it from the landfill, and then the farmers use it to create compost, and they're using it primarily in their own fields to fertilize their soil. We're not a nonprofit, but we're working on getting fiscal sponsorship from one or more nonprofit groups. So I just wanted to come and the main objective would be to get another drop site, because we have one free drop site at the Ashland Farmers Market. And that has in some fashion been sponsored by the Ashland Food Co-op. And I don't know the details of that, but so we have received some funding from AFC in some way already, which is awesome. And we're really grateful for that. But we're trying to replicate the program in Medford or at other farmers markets. So that's why we're here. I'm here.
Thanks, Adam. I'm glad to see you.
See you.
Adam used to be my boss.
Not really.
Okay, and
I'm Magdalena, and I started a small nonprofit that does food scrap pickup and composting as well. Yeah.
See you online.
Yeah. And so we work also with residences, not the farmers market, but residentially and with schools. And we're also started working with festivals this year. And so I just thought I'd come around and see what the possibilities might be.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming. That's great. Okay, and are we see the whole room?
My name's Susan Hindawi, and my colleague Heidi and I, we do a low-income senior foot care clinic in Ashland, and for Ashland, Talent, and Phoenix low-income residents that are over age 55. And it used to be the foot care clinic for years and years was at the senior center. Then COVID happened, and we are now doing since COVID started at the Rose Lane Foot Clinic, residential. It's a residential clinic, and yeah, it's we missed the grant opportunity last year, and so I'm here just to check out to see how we can go about applying.
It's so wonderful. I'm glad you made it. That's good. And then I'd also like to just quickly introduce Casey Garcia, who just recently joined the Ashland Food Co-op Gives committee, and we just feel so blessed to have her on board. So. And then Betsy is another member, and then Callie is right here. So good representation from the committee tonight. Does anybody else have any other questions? Is there anything that I can offer?
I have a question about the online grant process. Is there a way that the grant can save and then you can come back to it later? Or do you need to have all the materials ready to go all in one sitting?
Unfortunately, and I'm sorry, but yeah, we haven't figured that there out yet.
It's probably expensive, so.
Yeah.
Don't.
Right. So just have all the ducks in a row when you sit down to
Okay.
that application. Actually, Rebecca, thank you so much for asking that question
Sure.
because everybody should know that.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Just having a Word document is really helpful.
That's a great
Because,
idea.
yeah, you can just copy and paste.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Can we see the baby again?
Oh, yeah. Steve, we just had a request to see.
There we go.
There we go.
Steve's still alive.
Oh, all right.
I'm
Well,
seeing if I could get my son to say hi to Rebecca because he went to SOU preschool under your tenure. No questions. Come here, come here, come here. If you remember this redheaded boy, he was probably half the height.
I know.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's nice to see you, Rebecca.
thank you so much for coming. Okay. Take care.